Well, let's get these motherfucking snakes off my
We're
motherfucking
not
plane.
picking snakes on the plane first.
Wrong answer.
What's up, and welcome back to Certified Bad Takes, Episode 2. Today we're doing a cooperative draft, which means that we're all about to work together to make a single ranked list of Christopher Nolan movies, and probably hate each other by the end of it. We've got 11 Nolan films in the pool, but only 10 spots to fill, so one movie's getting cut. Each of us is drafting one movie at a time and assigning a rank on the list, starting from 10, the worst, all the way up to first, the best. Here's how the pick assignments will be laid out. Player A will be drafting spots 10, 6, and 2. Player B will get pick 9, 5, and 1. Player C picks 8 and 4. And player D gets 7 and 3. Now, here's where things get spicy. Player B, C, and D get one veto. If someone makes a pick you absolutely can't live with, you can use your veto to remove it from that specific spot. That movie can still come back later, but not where it was picked. Once a veto is used, that's it, one and done. That's the setup. We're aiming for greatness, but knowing us, this will end up in absolute chaos. Let's rank some Nolan and ruin the internet.
Fair enough. So I'm going to be spinning the wheel. The first name that we are going to get is
Drum roll, please.
Karsten.
Hey.
Karsten is the first pick.
Wait, he got first last time. This is
don't make the
favoritism.
Bro, sometimes the luck gotta hit. Sometimes
Yeah,
the luck
sometimes the
It-
favoritism got a hit. I get it.
It does mean that he's the only one that doesn't get a veto.
Fair.
Okay, so we have Eric, me, and Ben left. Let's see who picks second.
We know it's not Eric.
Yeah.
It is Eric.
Ben getting Ben and Axel
It's fine.
for the life.
Eric will get pick 9. And let me remove him. And then it's between Ben and I. It is me in third. And Ben,
Alright.
you will be fourth. I know you like to actually have me spin the last wheel, so I will do it.
I was going to say something.
I know. Oh,
We
wow,
had to
it's
spin it for
Ben.
me.
I can't believe it.
What?
I can't
Oh my
believe
God.
it.
Oh my god.
So, once again, I will read it off. Player A, which is KD, will get pick 10, pick 6, and pick 2, which in my opinion is by far the best place to pick. But you do not get a veto.
Bet.
Eric, you will be player B. You are pick 9, pick 5, and pick 1. I understand pick 1 is not super palatable because chances are there's only 2 movies left. So you'll have to make a choice.
I'm sure you guys will leave me the best pick.
We all know that's the most trolly spot you could have gotten.
I'm terrified about having Eric in that spot, actually. I'm so scared about having Eric in that spot. I'm terrified.
Complete and utter chaos. Let's go, boys.
Me at player C, which is 8 and 4, and Ben at player D, which is 7 and 3. Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
Nope, let's rock.
All right. So for pick 10 in our cooperative draft for Christopher Nolan, KD, what do you got for us?
The Dark Knight Rises. That movie is ass. That movie is hot ass. Dude, I don't know if you watched it recently, but
not what I expected.
it's not
Coming
good.
on a hot take right out of the gate.
It's not good.
It is good.
It misunderstands the character of Batman.
It misunderstands the character of Bane, which is honestly a bigger problem.
So it gets both of them wrong. And then
No, I mixed them up. No, the Rises, that's fine. I thought we were talking about the fucking...
The one with Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I was
No,
like,
no.
"There's no way."
Rises
Oh,
is
I got
Bane.
hot.
But no,
I got
no,
hot.
Bane. That's fine. I like that movie, but I'm fine with it being 10.
So we're gonna fight because I got hot takes about that movie too.
So here's the thing. Not the movie I expected, but I did expect it to be in the bottom 5.
It's not good, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, he fell in love with Talia, so that's why he didn't realize." No, he would have known. Like Batman, the whole point. I just said this about Forever. If we talk about the story in Forever, where he's going it through therapy to realize that Batman does not need Bruce Wayne, but Bruce Wayne needs Batman. Like he cannot exist without this healing part where he is paranoid. Like he's a mess, but it makes him whole and complete, and that's why he works as a person. For us to have all of this canon showing that no, Batman wouldn't fuck this up, and Nolan be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make him a recluse who doesn't pay attention and all this." Like, no,
It also has
no, man, it's so bad.
But I mean, the point of that is that he essentially lost who he was as Batman because he couldn't do the role anymore because of his leg.
But he
So
was back.
He
was back by that point.
He was coming back at that point.
I don't.
I get where you're coming from. I'm just saying, like, there is at least a precedent for it.
It also has the worst ending in the movie, maybe by far. The whole you should use your name more often, and then you see that his name is Robin.
Robin, yeah, that was dog shit.
Robin is not his fucking name.
Also, the way they job out the police in both Night and Night Rises, like, I am no fan of the police at all. But you're telling me you see every fucking cop underground in a city where you got a prison full of man, fuck no.
Well, the problem is that there's a ton of super criminals, but they don't have a lot of the money anymore. The mob, who is not on the inside, has all the money, and they are what control the cops. All the cops are on someone's payroll. They're just not all on the same payroll.
By the end of Rises, they weren't all on somebody's payroll. That may be true in Dark Knight, and that's why they would all.
Yeah, I was mostly talking about Dark Knight. Rises is its own problem.
Yeah, like it's fucking stupid. It's so bad. But
pick 10.
That's my pick. That's
Rises.
my pick 10.
That's bold for 10.
I'm not expected. I'm not vetoing it.
I'm not willing to use my veto yet, but whew.
That's a take. It's not. I honestly, this is like. This is why I'm excited about doing this draft.
I'm surprised. I'm excited to see what y'all put at 9.
Well, that would be Eric at 9.
Well, there's two options for me. I pick one that I haven't seen, and guess at which one of them was the worst. Or
I like that option.
You do? Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know what the other option is.
What's the other option?
I mean, I picked the worst of the ones I've seen. So
I mean, that can go any number of ways. I'm going to leave it up to you.
It's your call.
The one that seems like it would probably be the worst out of the ones I haven't seen would probably be Insomnia.
Oh, shit.
I can see why you would go that way. I will also say this. It's got a not fucking cracked out Pacino in it. And
it also might be one of the best Robin Williams like acting role.
Yeah. I can't veto it because I don't have a veto. But that's spicy because that's a banger of a flick.
I mean, this is just based off of what I know about each of the movies I haven't seen and like descriptions of them. I haven't seen Insomnia. I haven't seen a few of the other ones, but out of the ones that I have looked at, I think Insomnia would be my least interested of the ones I haven't seen.
I'm fine with it. I really enjoy that movie. It's definitely not in the bottom for me. The thing is, now I'm realizing that there's one movie that I did not expect would make the top 10, which has now made it into the top 8, most likely, which terrifies me.
Yeah. Well, it's your pick now.
Yeah, man. But I think Insomnia is gonna have the least amount of discussion here.
I don't want to fucking say the movie that I'm thinking of because I don't think it deserves to be in the top 10. But I'm worried one of you is gonna put it.
You already know I'm not putting it there.
What?
I mean, after 9, I'm probably gonna just pick ones that I know. So if
Is
you're
it?
worried about that,
Are you talking about Inception?
No.
No. That would be the hottest of hot takes.
There is one movie in this list that I just fucking can't stand. I just can't stand that.
What is it? It's either got to be fucking Prestige, Memento, or like Dunkirk.
no,
or something.
Prestige is way too good. I was thinking Memento or Dunkirk.
I'm not saying anything, even though I know what it is.
Or it could be Tenet, but I will call you crazy because Tenet smacks.
Fuck, it's gonna be the top 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like Tenet, do you?
I should put Tenet now. That way you can't veto it.
But that does mean that you're putting Tenet
It's your only
above the
chance
Dark
to do it, I
Knight Rises
promise.
and Insomnia.
Man, is KD gonna put Tenet? Oh my god, I'm so scared of that.
I don't have a veto.
I doubt he'd put it at number 2, but he'd probably put it at number 5.
We do have vetoes
or
still.
6, whatever.
Okay,
All right. Well,
I'm just
make
worried
your
that
call.
if I veto it at 5, he's gonna put it at 1 or at 2.
Make your call.
Okay. At 8, I really enjoyed that movie, but compared to the other ones, I think it's the valid choice. I'm going to put Dunkirk. It's a fun movie. It's interesting. It's well filmed. It's well filmed. It's well done. It just didn't captivate me like most of his other films. And I'm really tired of war movies.
I feel war movie fatigue, but man, Dunkirk is good.
Thomas, all of his movies are good.
That is
like,
why
we're arguing a tier of like top tier movies. Like,
I mean, I think he's got some. I think he's got some farts on here.
I don't.
And in the 11 that we have on the list,
yes, there are 2 farts.
That's
One
crazy.
you one.
I mean,
one
I
you
think
will absolutely
Memento's
not agree
probably
with.
a fart, but
No,
I don't
Memento.
know.
Oh hell no, dude.
Tenet is barely a movie.
See, we all have at least
Did you already name one of the farts?
Yes, I
The
named
ones
one
you
of the
consider.
farts.
Yeah, you named one of the ones you consider a fart.
Okay, so at 8, I'm putting Dunkirk. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. It's a fine movie. It just wasn't for me.
For number 7, I am thinking between 3 of them, and I'll share them here. It is Memento. What was the other one? Okay, I'm already forgetting. Oh my, this is embarrassing. Memento, Oppenheimer, and Batman Begins. Those are my 3. And
if Memento's gonna make the list,
and
better be a 7.
There's no way Memento doesn't make
Don't
the list.
want it to
That'd
be
be
higher.
ridiculous.
Yeah, which is why I don't want it to be higher. So put it at 7.
yeah. So because these takes are certified bad, I think I do have to take Memento at 7. And my justification is when I watched the movie, I was not yet medicated for ADHD, so I definitely spaced out a few times throughout that movie, and probably didn't remember it as well as I need to. But
And also, it was mid.
It's really,
without the gimmick of like the cut and like in reverse, it's much less interesting than it was. And for the other ones, Oppenheimer 7 feels like too far down the list, and Batman Begins really needs some credit for setting up the Batman trilogy and really like owning it. So like, even though I don't think it's the best of the 3, though I'm sure some people would disagree with me, I think that alone requires some amount of respect. So I think I gotta go with Memento at 7.
Here's the thing. I want to veto that so extremely bad. But the problem is I can't veto something at 7 because then I'm just lost for the rest of the draft. And I already was told by the 2 people on the bottom of the screen that they're going to have some wild takes.
Yeah, that gives me free reign to do a lot of things.
I can't do that to myself. Memento at 7 is asinine, and I want you to know that I feel that way.
I agree. I think half of this chat is in agreement.
That is just the most ridiculous pick at 7, I think. The fact that it's not in the top 4 is nuts.
That's fine. The left
I'm willing to.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm willing to accept that. But also, this is the fun of the format. So
okay, so at 7, Memento, which is okay. It's a thing that happened, and I'm past it. I'm not angry about it much.
And before he just gets this all around and just now it's his list.
Actually, this podcast is done. It's not my list.
The takes got too bad. Too bad. They were terrible.
Listen, I said certified bad, not garbage.
All right, so at 6, we are back to KD.
All right. Axel, I'm going to alleviate your worry, but it's going on the list. I'm putting Tenet at 6.
I love that.
I enjoyed the film. You know, am I sitting here saying I think about Tenet often? No. Like, if I'm going to sit down and think about a Christopher Nolan film, it's going to be Interstellar.
I can't believe
Interstellar. But it's better. Like,
it's barely a movie.
Better.
It's barely
it's better than.
I can't believe what that means.
Other than Batman Rises, what is it better than?
It's better. Okay, so granted, this list is so far hot ass because, like, the fact that Memento and Dunkirk are below it.
To be
You're
fair,
the one that's choosing to put him higher than it.
What
the fuck else just leave it off the list?
We do have vetoes.
Why is it got to be on the list? It's mid.
Axel, this feels like you got to do it.
Here's the thing: if I veto it, he's just gonna put it at 2.
No, there's no way.
No, not putting it at 2.
It's not good enough to be at 2.
I think it deserves to be on. I think it deserves to be on this list. It don't deserve to be at 2.
Here's the thing that worries me the most about it being at 6. 6, right? 6.
Yeah, we're at 6.
One of his best movies is not going to be on the list now.
Yes.
And that has me actively spooked.
Oh, right. Yeah, because we did already do Dunkirk.
Yeah, there's only 5 slots left.
Memento. Yeah.
I will be cashing in. Oh my god! I will be cashing in my veto. There's no way I'm allowing Tenet to be on this list.
If you don't put a money in the briefcase right here, and you like
cash it in, cash it in.
Okay. All right. So I've been vetoed Tenet. I tried. In that case, I'm gonna put in another hot take. I think at 6 we put in Inception because that movie does not hold up.
Fine. It's fine.
I'm full of regret.
No, Inception is fine.
Listen, would you rather have Tenet and then Inception get left off the list?
Okay, you're right. You sold me on it.
Inception is hands down worse than everything else that's left on the list.
Yeah, I'm sold. Ben sold me. I'm fine with Inception at 6.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 or 4 times. Every time I see it, it gets a little bit worse.
Yeah, it's fine.
I can agree with. It's just like
it's a good movie, but it's not a great movie.
It's a movie that came out at the right time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not sure it aged well. I watched it last year again, and you're right. It didn't hit for me like it hit the first time.
It
was very unique the first time around in what it did, but it's lost a lot of that magic now. And I think it's the same thing that, like, I would compare it to, like, Avatar, where, like, when Avatar came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, have you seen that Avatar movie?" And then we watched it 10 billion times, and you got tired of it. I think Inception was a very similar thing of, like, it came out and everyone was like, "Have you seen Inception?" And then we all watched it 10 billion times, and then now we're all, like, tired of it. We're like, don't need that anymore. I've seen it enough times for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
I agree. And everyone knows Rick and Morty did it better, anyways.
Kind of.
All right, yeah.
Are you talking about Inception or Avatar? Because Avatar was done better with Pocahontas.
Or Foreign Girl or Dances with Wolves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can go down the list.
But Inception, I was talking about Inception. Rick and Morty did Inception better.
Okay, so at 6 we have Inception. I don't hate it. I'm fine with it. Now that
I accept it.
honestly, Karsten sold me on it. I think it's a good pick. I'm just happy
Look,
Tenet is
man.
not here.
Look, I'm telling you, I've got heat coming, but we're gonna see if it's there. Eric, I will pass it to you. Don't fuck it up.
Number
This is
5.
a tough one for me. This is actually a real tough one for me.
The 5 that are left are Interstellar,
I know.
Oppenheimer, Dark Knight,
Oh,
The Prestige, and Batman Begins. Correct?
Well, there should be
there's
6.
There's 6 that are left.
The other one's Tenet.
And Tenet.
So if you want to put Tenet at 5, I guess.
my God.
Oh no, I'm saving that for number 1,
Oh
baby.
my God, I will commit seppuku.
I mean, Benson's got a veto. He can come in like.
Ben, you got to keep that veto till 1, man.
I'm torn between Batman Begins and Oppenheimer. Really bad.
I'm of the same mind. I'd give you either.
I think for number 5, I'm gonna take Batman Begins.
It's the right choice.
Because as it was a good movie, it wasn't the most exhilarating movie to me.
I think it's the best of the 3.
Story setup, I can understand that, but as a total movie, I think it wasn't as exhilarating, and for a Batman movie, you need storytelling and you need theatrics and excitement and action, and I don't think it filled all those as well as Dark Knight.
I think. Sorry, go for it, Carson.
Yeah, not
storytelling, yes, but the others.
The reason I say it's the best of the 3 movies is it is the one that gets an aspect of Batman better than anything else, and that is Batman as the detective. Like, yes, it's not a super actiony movie, but it is Batman at his core. What he is he's a very smart detective, and he's put up against people who are as smart as him, trying to outwit him. Using Ra's al Ghul there makes that film so good. I understand why people love The Dark Knight. I will get into when we talk about The Dark Knight why I don't love that movie. But out of the 3, I think he got it right on his first one, and he never reached that high again.
I agree with the storytelling aspect, and I think that as far as everything you talked about, that's all the storytelling aspect. But to me, a good Batman movie isn't just storytelling.
Okay, so we have that movie at 5, so that leaves me at 4, and this will be my personal last pick.
Make it count.
So we have Interstellar, Oppenheimer, The Dark Knight, and The Prestige left. I know Tenet exists, but I'm refusing to.
But he doesn't count it because he's a hater.
It's
big hating over there.
He's saving it for number 1 too.
Please don't do this to me, Eric. Please don't do this. I beg of you, don't do it to me. You know what? I'm not going to overthink it. I enjoyed watching it today. I'm going to say Oppenheimer at 4.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think that movie is fantastic for a lot of reasons. That story, like J. Robert Oppenheimer's story, is great. And the acting in it's phenomenal.
I didn't know that he was made to be a pariah. I just didn't know that side of the story. I understand how it happened. I just didn't know it had. The emotions that he portrays in that movie, while being pretty much stone cold during so much of it, is incredibly interesting. But the weight of 220,000 people's death, you can tell, weighs heavily on him at the end of the movie without him ever saying it. It was a masterclass in acting for Robert Downey Jr. Honestly, absolutely, it might be one of his best roles. Did he win an Oscar for that?
He did not.
Yeah, I agree. It was a great movie, great storytelling. But I don't think it's his best movie. But I think it's one of them.
I agree. Yeah, so I have it at 4. I know there's going to be pissed off people about that choice.
No, I think it's generally well accepted.
I think it's the right one. It's a good movie, but it's in some tough company right now.
Yeah.
The last 3 that we have, 4 counting Tenet, are pretty much the 3 I anticipated being in the 3.
Yeah, I feel about the same.
All right, Ben, at 3, what are you putting in?
This is a tough one for 3.
Yeah.
This is a really tough one.
I know what I would go with, but I'll wait.
So my problem here is that I don't know that I have seen The Prestige in a long time. So I don't know if I can really accurately weigh it against the other 2.
I can tell you that it still holds up today and is fantastic.
I rewatched it last night.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen it pretty recently.
I'm tempted to put Dark Knight at 3.
That's what I was gonna go with.
I think I will put Dark Knight at 3. I think that's the choice.
I solid agree.
I wish that was lower, but yes.
So
Absolutely.
for me, I really loved Heath Ledger's performance. Is a big highlight of that movie. It was one of the, I think, best portrayals of like madness that like, one is accurate to the character, but is also like, 2 is like understandable by an audience and is like easily able to like just have your like for someone watching to wrap their head around. It also didn't require a ton of exposition where like nowadays a lot of people feel like they have to have the need to justify these characters being the way they are, and they end up bloating the narrative and giving a whole bunch of like backstory behind it, and they build all these characters up and stuff, and it would not have served the movie well. So it did a great job of balancing like just giving you the right amount of information as well as just like a solid performance. Plus it's just a fun watch. Like it's just a good time. Every time I watch that, and I watched it a ton, growing up in high school and stuff, and like every time I was like, yeah, that's good. I enjoyed that. I had fun with it.
I would say Heath Ledger's performance would probably be one of the best performances of all time. Top 3 easily, and I could definitely see it being the number 1 performance of all time. Based on the way he was in real life and all of his other acting roles, what it takes to have done that role and done it so perfectly, that I would put it in the top performances of all time.
I would go ahead.
He also like, it was a fairly new take on Joker. There hadn't been a ton of instances of the Joker being so unhinged. Like a lot of up until that point was more comedic, and there were a couple of that kind of slightly more unhinged thing. What's his name? God, Luke Skywalker. Why am I blanking?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill does an incredible job with the animated version of that, but and I think there was a couple that may have predated The Dark Knight where he kind of went down that road a little bit, but my memory of time is a little fuzzy there about what kind of came in what order.
But comics, but less in actual.
So the thing about the Joker, and the reason I hear everything you're saying is I love the performance by Heath Ledger for what it took. I do not like the characterization. Because
I'm actually with Katie on this.
Sure.
He's a chaos agent, but they just made him a murderous psychopath. And if you watch the Joker, the whole joke is that through him being a murderous psychopath, he's trying to get Batman to crack. And nothing he does in that movie really relates to like, oh, I'm trying to get him to crack. Like, yes, he kills a bunch of people. Yes, he makes Batman make tough decisions. But man, go back and read The Death of Jason Todd. It's dark, but you also kind of get a laugh out of what he's doing to Batman. Like, he pulls at those strings so hard that it forces Batman to reckon with who he is.
Sorry, keep going. I'll
you don't get any of that until the end when it's like, oh, do you save the face of the city or your love interest? It's like, we already know what Batman's going to do. It didn't grab me as like really, and again, I say this about Nolan, except for the first movie, it doesn't feel like he gets what makes Batman cool and what makes Batman interesting.
So what I would disagree with there is that it's mostly near the end where he makes Batman aggressively choose and make that try and makes him crack, but he adapts the role to not just having that be Batman. He's trying, this Joker is not just trying to make Batman crack. Batman is currently the face of the city, so yes, he's trying to make him crack, but he wants the whole city to crack. He wants the underbelly to crack. He wants the surface to crack. He's trying to break the city and rip it apart. And that's where the whole movie comes into play, where all of his choices are breaking the underworld, then breaking the overworld, then breaking Batman.
But every Joker does that, because even in the original Batman movie, he cracks the city, gives it money, makes it love him, and do whatever he wants on his whim. Like, that's not uncommon for the Joker to take that tact. Like, for me,
yes, but there's only so much you can get in one movie. Had they been able to continue the Joker into another movie, then yeah, we probably would have seen more of Batman. Batman cracking. But I think for one movie, they really did a good job of putting each part of the Joker's plans into action.
Yeah, it was a seminal film. Like, that summer, that's all anybody talked about was The Dark Knight. And hey, when I got out of the theater, thought it was great. Went back and watched it, I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, so at 2, it's
we got Katie
again.
All right, so my options left are Tenet, which I could do the funniest thing ever. What do we have? Tenet, The Prestige, and
Interstellar.
Okay.
Oh God.
Please make the right choice, Karsten.
I'm not putting Tenet.
Not Tenet. I'm not talking about Tenet. I'm talking about the other two. I'm asking you to make the right choice.
I personally think it's Interstellar. I do not think Interstellar.
Yes. Thank you.
That is Eric's choice too. Eric absolutely fucking loves The Prestige.
I think The Prestige. The Prestige is
his best movie, hands down.
Yeah. Interstellar is again, my list would be way different. I think it's a bloated movie. Like, it goes on way too long.
I think there are a lot of great parts of it, truly great parts of it, but I can agree with you. There are some parts that were not necessary and make it a little bit longer than I feel like it should be.
I've got a hot take.
Okay. It just was.
The Martian's just better Interstellar.
Disagree.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
All right, podcast
I'm not saying
over.
it's like a horrible opinion, but I disagree.
I loved The Martian. I think Matt Damon did an incredible job with it. If you've read the book, it was very accurate to the book. It was just well done. It was a good time, and it was grounded in reality. Not that Interstellar was necessarily way off in left field until it got into the weird 4-dimensional behind the bookcase shit. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched the movie. Sorry, you've had what is it? 20 years? 20 years. I can't count. 10 years.
11 years. Jesus, it's already been out for 11 years.
But I really like The Martian. I think it's really well done, and Interstellar's great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's in the right spot at 2 on this list. But I'd take The Martian.
I'm going to say 2 things. Matt Damon is better in Interstellar than he is in The Martian.
For the
And I'm not
3
even going to
minutes that
feel
he's
bad
in
about
it.
that.
Okay.
And number 2, Interstellar is actually maybe my favorite movie of all time. It's the
That's fine.
movie that I watch probably 4 or 5 times a year. It's the movie that brings me the most joy outside of maybe The Fifth Element. I have not enjoyed a movie the way I enjoyed Interstellar since Interstellar came out. It had just such a massive, like, it just completely rewired my brain when I watched it. And I understand that it's not everybody's favorite, but for me, it's one of the best films ever made.
I can see that. I can totally get behind that. It's a great film. I think filming wise and storytelling wise, The Prestige is just done near perfect.
The Prestige is look. Prestige would have been number 2 for me. So if the world says The Prestige is 1, and by the world I mean this group, I'm accepting it. I think Interstellar at 2 is fine. That movie just rocked my brain.
I get it. Like, I absolutely understand. Like, it's another one. Upon first viewing, fantastic. But if you sit with it for like 25 minutes, in my opinion, you start to see the edges. And that's a problem Nolan has had post the Batman movie. It's with every single one of his films. If you sit with it for about 10 minutes, it starts to fray. Where I think with some of his early stuff like Memento, they're rock solid.
Memento being that low is still crazy to me, but that's fine.
I blame mental illness. That's the tagline.
I'm not going to put that in the tagline. No, I don't want to be canceled today.
No, the actual tagline is we ranked Christopher Nolan's movies and instead spent 20 minutes talking about Batman.
Okay, so that leaves us. Anybody want to veto that?
No.
Thank God, because fucking
Do it,
I
Eric.
had to deal with fucking Tenet at 2. You know that if you vote Tenet, it's going to get vetoed, right?
I still have my own veto.
You can't
You can't
the
veto a veto.
That wasn't
What?
the rules.
That was never a
Yes,
rule.
it was.
You never said that at the beginning.
You cannot veto a veto.
This is some horse donkery. Yeah, I mean, I'm picking The Prestige. It's obvious.
Now
Prestige
the funny
is
thing
the best
is,
movie.
oh, hold on, we gotta fix
I mean,
my
you
camera.
can veto it if you really want Tenet to be number 1, Ben. Go ahead. But
I genuinely have the opportunity. Oh, I'm hitting my microphone. Oh no. I have the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever and veto it and force Tenet to be number 1 overall.
Fuck, that is a thing that could happen. Oh no, don't do that.
Do it. Chaos. Do it.
Okay, so we're accepting The Prestige at 1, right?
yeah.
I'll let
I
it.
should
I'll
have
let it
just said
slide.
Tenet and forced him to veto it so that this couldn't.
But
that was
unofficially,
the play I should have done.
unofficially,
Tenet.
Tenet.
Yeah,
So-
unofficially and officially, Tenet is not on the list.
Let's go through the list from 10 to 1. At 10, we had Insomnia, correct? At
Yeah.
10, we had
Yes.
Insomnia.
No,
No,
Dark
Tim, we
Knight
had
Rises.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
Oh shit, you're right. Sorry.
Insomnia was 9.
At 10, we had The Dark Knight Rises. At 9, we had Insomnia. At 8, we had Dunkirk.
Yep.
At 7, we had Memento. At 6, we had, I believe, The Batman Begins.
No, that was 5, right? You were 6. Wait, who was 6?
No, I was 6. I put
Yeah,
in
you
Tenet,
were
you
6.
vetoed it, and I had to go with
Inception.
Inception.
All right.
So 6 is Inception. 5 is Batman Begins. 4
Oppenheimer.
was Oppenheimer. 3 was
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. 2 was Interstellar, and 1 was one of the best movies of all time, The Prestige. One of the most fun endings in a movie ever.
So good. If I'm going to place it in the list somewhere, I think we're going to go by like the same thing that Ben was just talking about, where everything else moves down 1, everything underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would probably end up placing it at 4.
I was gonna say 3. So I have so much hope for that movie. I'm writing my entire 2026 is dependent on that movie being good.
It's not. It's going to be an awful year.
Fuck. No.
But we've already had so many awful years.
Listen, they can't get better. That's illegal.
So
it's starting to feel that way.
They only go down.
I think it's.
Hey man, we just got to make it out the 20s. We make it to the 30s, we'll be alright.
But the last time we had the 30s, the whole country blew up.
My vote is third. It's gonna end up being third in this list of movies.
I'm a little bit more pessimistic. I think it's somewhere in like the 8 or 9 range. It's just whenever you take on something this big, you got to cram it into one movie. You're gonna start getting into some weird shit.
I don't think we decided on a position for Odyssey though here yet.
So for me, it's 3.
I think
Eric said 4.
I think we.
KD said 8 or 9.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
Was it? Or one
My take was going to be put it at 8 so that I don't move Memento any lower.
Fuck, that's hilarious.
Boo! Man's a hater. Man is a hater.
No, I'm trying to help.
He didn't want to push it down.
I
didn't want to push it down.
Memento.
Okay, well, I think that is the end of the cooperative draft for Christopher Nolan. Overall, I don't agree with the full list, but I think it's a pretty decent list.
You just like it because Tenet's not on the list.
For the most part, I agree with the list pretty much entirely.
Tenet not being on a list, rightfully so.
I mean,
I think
I could have maybe switched it with like Dunkirk or something, but if it was going to make the list, it was going to be in the bottom 3.
I think the question on everyone's mind is where is Snakes on a Plane?
Seriously.
Number 1.
Yeah, obvious. Well,
The best Christopher Nolan movie of all time is the Quentin Tarantino one.
That is a real tough between 1 and 2 for me. Because The Prestige is real good.
The Prestige
it's Snakes on a fucking plane.
I can't believe it. All right.
That's what I'm saying. It's a hard choice for me because it's Snakes on a fucking plane. Like,